all.
We on?
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah.
Smooth.
USA. US.
Wait, okay. It's too early for that.
Hello and welcome to It's Happening Show, community grassroots media for the people, by the people. I am Jose Gloria.
And I'm Dylan Thompson. We are your hosts tonight.
Pew, pew, pew. Tonight, indeed.
Pew. Yeah.
It's Happening is a movement of the heart and of the mind. It's the energy of the universe that creates waves inside us and all around us, which allows us to activate, motivate, then elevate vibrationally and intellectually towards love, truth, justice, and wisdom. It's happening in every which way.
It's Happening is a culture of empowerment. It's people on the right to exist and participate as equals. It's a dream of what the world could be, but the future we want is only possible if we make it happen. So stand up, get informed, and fight back. Hit me.
You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with us, so we thank you because of you.
It's happening. Woo!
We're gonna get this.
Yeah.
So
One of these days.
Man, how are you, buddy?
Good. I need to work on my soul sounds. You know what I'm saying? Hit me
2 times.
Yeah. I don't know what else you can say, but James Brown type stuff.
That's right.
It's good hype sounds,
Totally.
Indeed. And you're a hype man extraordinaire, Esquire.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do these things. Yeah. Let's start the show by saying happy birthday to Edgar, our audio video engineer. It was his birthday the other day.
You made it.
Was it yesterday? Yeah. Made it. Yeah. Good job.
Way to go.
Congratulations. You beat the odds, dude. It's happening.
Especially in COVID times. Good job.
Yeah.
Murder hornets. There's plenty of obstacles this year.
Seriously. You get some props this year, but if you make it to next year, okay.
No, that's the next level.
Yeah. So big ups.
Yeah.
To Iron Lion.
Oh yeah.
Poncho. So and then there's Dylan's shirt. You are looking like an extra.
I'm rocking this
70 show right now.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, just rocking the man.
Rocking the gold.
The man growth.
Yeah, it is. Should I take this button down? Hold on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's gotta be me.
You look very good. You're like a brother to me. How could you say such a thing? And about my mother too. I've been watching a hell of a lot of Sopranos recently.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, highly recommend that show. Don't spoil it for me, anyone. But yeah, I'm almost done with the 4th season, I think. That guy's
marathon.
Yeah, he's incredible. But yeah, now I'm like having mafia dreams, and every now and again I just want to just bust out my.
Say hello to my little friend, or I don't know, what are you supposed to say?
What am I supposed to do? Whack the guy? What he said. I don't know, Tony. You tell me. All right.
You heard it here first. Jose's gonna whack someone.
No.
Well. The future is yet to be written, Jose.
That's right. Yeah.
Too true.
It rained. That also happened.
Yeah.
That was so rad.
Yeah.
I was like, it's raining.
Is this really happening? Yeah. It's been odd. It's been an odd one.
Yeah.
Where's summer? Here's why. Okay, I have another complaint. And let me just get to this because I hate fucking talking about weather, but we're doing it, okay? And I'm just gonna go for it because here's my thing. It was getting all hot. I'm like, this sucks. This is gonna be so hot. So, it's a summer. Imagine what summer is gonna be like. Like, don't get cooler. Don't rain right now. Like, I'm already set in my ways of complaining. Like, I've already transitioned over into complaining about heat. Okay, like it's too much energy. It's too much overhead cost just to context switch back to my other complaining mode. Okay, like let's just stick with it until the end of fall, and I'll complain about how cold it is again. Thank you.
Okay. Deal.
Okay, this is what happens when you bring up the weather. Okay.
I know. During quarantine time, there's just the little things that can really set you off, like people talking about the weather, because besides COVID, what else is there to talk about? Which, besides, of course, the latest thing that Trump said, like today, he said that he's been taking hydroxychloroquine for
I don't doubt it.
now, and yeah, so that was cool.
It explained a lot of things about him, actually.
Yeah, but no, quarantine. We're at 2 months. Can you believe this? 60 days, bro. I think it's like 59, 60 days, but it's making me going crazy. I cut my hair the first time in 4 years. You ready?
Yeah, let's
Still
see it.
long.
Oh my God, you look like a different person. Who is that? Who is that handsome co-host over there? Who is? Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah. Oh my God.
Woo!
Yeah, someone clip that, please.
I know. Come on, folks.
Yeah, make some memes. That was the COVID, Jose under COVID stress there. Yeah, dude. Oh, someone's got to clip that. Someone mark that timestamp. Come back here.
All right, friends. Yeah, take care of that.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna have a great show today because we have with us Vern Patrick Nelson, that will be with us in a bit.
Oh yeah.
And we'll talk to him about all sorts of magical and catastrophic and crazy things that are happening in Orange County. But let's go ahead and go with our top stories, shall we?
Top stories. Actually, it's headlines. Headlines.
Okay, whatever you say. Deadlines it is.
Is it quick stories? I forget our segment names. Anyway, it's fucking news. You know. You've watched this goddamn show before.
The news segment.
Yes, you guys get it. You're like, there's a few brain cells left in here. Thank you. Let's go ahead.
Thank you. So this is a story in the moment when everybody is trying to get out of prison, and many people have, including Tekashi 6ix9ine. Gotta I believe the children of the future. We gotta protect him, and other people from the Trump administration, and other folks, because it's. Yeah, that is an excuse officially. Delusional Martin Shkreli denied prison release by judge.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that totally sucks. Anyway, sorry, I felt like rehashing that again. So you can go ahead, Jose. You can go ahead. Sorry, I just got really excited.
Thank you, Dylan. Judge rejected a request of convicted pharmaceutical executive Martin Shkreli to be let out of prison to research a coronavirus treatment, noting that probation officials viewed that claim as a type of delusional, self-aggrandizing behavior. Oh, in your face, Shkreli.
That sounds like
led to his conviction. U.S. District Judge Kiyo Matsumoto said in a 9-page ruling Saturday that man known as Pharma Bro failed to demonstrate extraordinary and compelling factors that would require his release. Home confinement rule designed to move vulnerable inmates out of institutions during the pandemic.
Right.
So, he's in a low security prison in Pennsylvania, but 37-year-old Shkreli, is trying to get out.
Yeah, that sounded like his psychiatrist profile of him. Like that description you led with, delusional. So yeah, like following, this is always a feel-good story. This is like the gift that keeps giving.
You never get enough of crapping all over Shkreli for sure.
Oh yeah, because no one gets in trouble, so we relish when one does.
Yeah, and because Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with, huh?
Correct. I believe there is some drama around that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
What he tried to do? Buy some original thing, or?
Yeah. They made their album to be like a piece of art that only one person can have, potentially, maybe share with the world. Mm-hmm. Like the vaccine, to polio.
Yeah. I mean, similar impacts to society.
Yeah. So, so then he bought it and kept it. And they tried to get it back from him, and they failed. I'm not sure if they have gotten it back yet, but they were in lawsuits, legal suits.
I wouldn't mess.
Yeah. So, in conclusion, screw Martin Shkreli and all the people like him that abuse people, especially in this moment of the coronavirus, but in all moments when big pharmaceutical executives hike up their prices to be able to make a profit at the expense and well-being and lives of people in this country. So
right. Yes, you got the official thumbs down from Jose.
Yeah, take that. Sure.
Oh yeah. Story. Next story. It's a couple stories. It's the tech update.
Hey, tech.
Beep, 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 beep. And then now it should start showing like old-fashioned like tape reels spinning very quickly in these giant 70s IBM mainframes that take punch cards. Tech update. It's okay. Yeah, we have to.
The ink sound, you know, like the load up buffering.
Yeah, we don't have these effects like per se, but I mean we can describe them. This is use your imagination, right? This is theater of the imagination. Just close your eyes. Don't look at me. Lasers. Okay, sorry. Okay, we're going back. We're going back to tech update. So you know, COVID probably will have some long-term ramifications for how our economy works. For instance, in the tech industry, Square has followed in Twitter's lead, allowing their workers to work from home permanently by their choice. So a lot of places are starting to relax some of the restrictions, and people are starting to get back to work in some fields. But even with that coming up, these companies are like, well, you know what? If you're more productive at home, just stay at home, and we'll see. And I think it's quite a complex situation, really, because you have to think about what would it mean if a company could shed a significant amount of its real estate. You have to think about what were the benefits that a company was providing its employees while they're in the office. Like there could be things like daycare, like food, different kinds of amenities, a gym. Often at these tech companies, there are these amenities, but when these workers go home, I mean, are they getting workers fought for these wages and benefits, right? So when you go home, are you yielding these benefits? Are they going to replace them? I mean, how is that going to work out? So is that just going to work out in their favor as well? So it's a complex situation.
Yeah, that we need tech. Techs are important. Techs need love too.
Techs, white techie gentrifiers need love too. You heard it here first. Okay, moving to the next segment of Tech Update. The U.S. government is investigating Google for antitrust charges. These investigations in the past have not yielded much in the United States. Like Europe, for instance, is a lot better at enforcing these kinds of things. But I guess it's funny because this story is just that there's a rumor that there could be some kind of like lawsuit or antitrust action brought against Google. We'll see, but more than likely it'll be dropped, just like last time. I mean, these companies have a large sway on our government, so
right.
We'll see.
Recently, there was a partnership between or an attempt of partnership between Trump and Google when it came to tracking of COVID-19 cases, right? So, yeah, monopolies are very much here.
Oh yeah.
And if not like monopolies, huge conglomerates that may as well be a monopoly in the sense that they're controlling the markets. The most recent surge of tech industry is definitely the recent one. Uber and Lyft comes to mind. Pick a choice, blue or red. You got a choice. You best be lucky you have one. See,
that's a beautiful thing.
Not like that commie stuff. Oh man. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into our next segment. COVID OC update, starring Jose and Dylan Thompson.
Oh yeah. So it looks like locally our OC supervisors are they're trying to figure out how they're going to help small businesses here, right, with some of the money they've received from the like CARES Act and some other federal programs. Like they got $500 million as part of this federal $1 trillion relief package passed in March. Haven't yet decided how to dole the money out. So there's 2 separate plans going through, and they'll be voting on it, I believe, this week. This is a story reported today, actually. So, I mean, man, hurry up. I mean, as this thing goes on, the more people that file for unemployment, the more people that are struggling to pay the rent, the fewer people that can go shop at small businesses. Like, these large corporations already have plenty of access to low risk or no risk lending and other programs. Our small businesses really need a hand.
They really, really do. You know, and on that, yeah, just it seems like the county is trying to do something. Cities have taken it upon themselves to open up loans and different support, financial support for you know for nonprofits and small businesses. And then the federal government, of course, did their stimulus package, and of course, many companies abuse that you know, ability to file for them, and some very big companies also, you know, we're getting money, including the Los Angeles Lakers, which hurt my heart as a Laker fan. Like, how could you? You shamed the memory of Mamba.
Too soon.
That is not Mamba the Town.
Yeah, that's still way too soon to sell out.
Oh. No, but on the real, they gave it back. But still, yeah, it's unfortunate that Orange County supervisors are screwing this up, but that just goes in line with a lot of the actions, including not acting quick enough on the COVID-19 crisis. And I believe right now Orange County is a hot spot in, if not California, if not the country, but California.
What?
Yeah, I believe there's 4,000 cases that have been.
You'd never know going to some places in Orange County. I mean, I live in Santa Ana, and when I look outside, a lot of people are wearing masks. But I mean, I've heard different things about South County in particular, that it's like, oh, this isn't happening. Like, I don't know what your experience is, but
yeah, I you know, I took a drive to Newport the other day, and pretty much everybody was walking around without a mask. You know, we were like the weirdo that didn't have the mask.
Yeah. That's an odd one. So it's a weird thing, you know. If we're the hot spot yet, it's still, I don't know, hasn't quite sunk in for most people.
Yeah. Also in Orange County COVID news, Orange County could soon be able to open up more businesses. So these two stories according to Voice of OC. So Orange County could soon open up more businesses after Governor Newsom announced the majority of California can begin relaxing some of the stay-at-home orders put in place to slow the spread of the novel COVID-19. Effective immediately, meaning the guidelines are out there, meaning the processes are out there, but they can go at their own pace, said Newsom in a news conference on Monday. Roughly 53 out of the 58 counties will be eligible to move into this phase. So, San Bernardino, San Diego, and Riverside County are going to be allowed, but I believe LA it doesn't, and San Francisco neither. They're not.
Oh, yeah, it's too. Yeah, I don't know if that article says whether or not it says we could. I don't know if it explicitly says that we're in that list, and I don't know if that's some shade coming from the Sacramento, provided that several of our cities have joined a lawsuit against them regarding beach access and other, shelter-in-place orders. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do believe that Huntington Beach is trying to circumvent some of their, restrictions that the governor has put in place for them, and different people are definitely taking different stances and approaches to this situation, as we have learned, and we learned on that our last show, and I'm learning from a lot of people that are on my Facebook friends, a news feed, like. You too. They got you too. Like when somebody goes into a triangle scheme. Like, let me talk to you about Amway. Oh no, they got you.
Oh no. Yeah.
Hey man, that sounds like a loser mentality. Don't you want to be successful?
No, I see why you're poor.
Did you think?
Wait, what? Yeah, but so I mean, what can we enjoy with some of Newsom's expanded things we can do? What we get better alcohol services. That's good.
That's right. Yeah. No, we're one thing that they're exploring is for California to allow expanded alcohol services on sidewalks and on parking lots. So
wait, so I can like slang, or what do you think? What do you mean?
I got a little like tahini, so you can.
Hey man, I got some peppermint schnapps, man. I got a lot of it. No one will buy it.
Peppermint schnapps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So OG Mike's, here we come.
woo!
Yeah, I'm be chilling with all of these.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So you yeah, it's good times. So we'll see. Of course, opening up usually leads to more cases occurring, and then we'd probably have to do shelter in place again. But let's see what happens. Let the brave go out, at least for the time being.
Yeah. And last point on the COVID-19 recently came out from UCI, a School of Social Ecology, that Santa Ana is among the least likely to benefit from unemployment insurance and CARES Act. And also, Orange County is, and specifically Santa Ana and Anaheim, has the largest number of cases of COVID-19. So it's like the most likely to get it and the hardest hit economically. Great. Yeah.
Someone said something that it was that COVID exacerbates the geography of economic inequality. You know what I mean? Like, things were already worse, and now in a crisis it's so much worse for people that were already at a disadvantage or exploited.
Exactly,
right?
Including undocumented immigrants. But thanks to our governor Newsom, we are going to have some funds available for those communities, and many of them here in Santa Ana and Anaheim and across Orange County. So it's good news, considering that those individuals are not getting the stimulus package money. So, and rent's due all the time. So yeah, rent also is
too damn high.
Too damn high. Too damn high. All right. So and with that, I want to go ahead and go in our segue story.
Segue
to.
We are transitioning into a new segment. Gracefully.
To our next story, very gracefully. This is according to orangejuiceblog.com. Santa Ana say no to the police coup recall. And this story came out May 1st, according to Vern Nelson. In a big way, the bogus recall, which Santa Ana will be voting on tomorrow is the day, May 19th. Not about Ceci Iglesias at all. It's mostly about a police union, a particularly greedy one, wanting to have complete control over the local government. It is about them not being able to tolerate even one critical, solitary critical, questioning voice on a council of yes people. It is about making politicians in the future, not only in Santa Ana, but everywhere, afraid to stand up to police unions anywhere and say to themselves, look what happened in Ceci in Santa Ana. Santa Ana voters, please don't be responsible for that. Dun, dun, dun. So with that, to talk more about this article and many other issues here in Orange County is a friend of the show, second time on, I believe. He is known locally as the White Man of Anadrive, songwriter, blogger, and publisher and editor-in-chief of the Orange Juice blog, Vern Patrick Nelson. Welcome to the show, good sir.
Woo!
What's happening?
Oh yeah, it's happening. You know that answer.
Yeah. You're prompting. So you just be laying up, and we just like Orange County politicians and Vern Nelson.
Well, you summarized my Ceci recall story pretty good there. That was it in a nutshell. I mean, there's a whole lot of things a lot of us don't like about what she stands for. And I don't even want to get into that because people elected her. And the only reason she's being recalled is because she stood up to the police. I can't believe there's not more Democrats on that council that will stand up to the police. It's embarrassing to me as a Democrat. Nope.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
That was an unaffordable raise, and they need police oversight. At least we have a tiny bit of that in Anaheim, not as much as we should, but
yeah. So I mean, do you struggle at all with this? I mean, on one hand, Ceci, a lot of her policies, I don't imagine you agree with them. For
most
instance,
of them not.
yeah. So I mean, how do you wrestle with that? I mean, it's a bit of a gray area, don't you think?
No, one thing was a lot stronger to me. This is the police union showing their muscle. There's some reason that she got elected by Santa Ana, majority of Santa Ana people, right? That's before district elections even started. So
wow.
should have known what she stood for.
And granted, this is a very different issue and different reasons for.
This is like a scalp on the police union's head, belt.
Yeah.
If they get her off, and then people will be really afraid to ever criticize them again or not give them what they want in other cities too.
Yeah, to be honest, that I don't know if you saw the show when we had her on, Vern, and
yeah, she's lame, but she's only 1 out of 7. It's no big deal.
1 out of 7. Yeah.
I wish we had 1 out of 7 bad Anaheim councilmen.
Oh man,
I could live with that.
Yeah, so we definitely want to touch on all that, but I mean, I will say one is that she held her own on the show. Some people wish that we would have gone strong, like harder on her, but just gave her, asked her the questions, she answered them, and and we had some pushback and some responses from the audience, but it's at the end of the day, people are gonna have the choice. But I mean, folks were
all the things she's really bad on. All the things she's really bad on, she's outvoted by the rest. So
yeah. So no, but what I was going to mention is that I mean, there was an effort to recall, or an attempt to recall the mayor Sidhu. So I mean, the same kind of argument would go then against, right? Yeah, you and other folks. So like, couldn't people say the same thing about your recall effort? Like he was elected democratically, Vern. I'm playing devil's advocate here, but
no, he's not being recalled for the one good thing he did. With Ceci is being recalled for the one good thing she did, the one brave thing she did.
Oh, good and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as you and I
So
know.
she wouldn't give the police union a raise that was unaffordable by the people of Santa Ana. 25 million. It's going to eat up all the Measure X money. Harry Sidhu, we have a list too long to get into of the reasons we want to get rid of him.
Yeah, I want to get into that, but I just want to finish the conversation about Ceci.
So he's part of a 5 out of 7 majority. We need to chip away at that. Ceci is just 1 out of 7. You can laugh at her until her term is up.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, by the way, can I say one more thing? People keep asking me who they should put in if they vote against the recall or if they vote for the recall, whatever. Who's the best other candidate? And I've asked questions of Thai, Vietnamese American lady. What's her last name? Thai something.
I win.
And also Nalita, who hasn't answered me at all. And Thai answered the questions the way I really like. She said that she opposed the police union raise too, and she wants police oversight, and she's against that development project. What's it called? It's
2525 North Main.
2525, yeah. So the 3 good things that Ceci has done, Thai has also done, but she's not a nutty Christian conservative. So if I lived in Santa Ana, I would say no on the recall just on principle, but I would also pick Thai for the replacement.
Okay. But didn't Ceci vote for it and then change her vote? Isn't that how it went down?
Yeah.
What?
It's what the 25
on 2525.
Could be.
I think she started against and then started to agree with it.
Like John Kerry, for it before she was against it.
Right.
You remember 2004?
Right.
Vern, you've come out against it, as we read, and while a lot of people, including the DPOC, is in support of the yes on the recall. I'll say one of the ways that I measure whether or not to vote for or against someone or some measure is by the amount of mail that gets sent out, either or against something. And boy, the amount of mail that's been in favor of the recall, it has to raise red flags to people that would say, like, these cost a lot of money, and where is money coming from? is the question.
Where's it coming from?
Yeah, but I mean, there are some pretty cool.
I mean, it makes sense that the Democrats want one more Democrat on council, but it's also kind of greedy, you know? I mean, I don't like one party rule anywhere. I'm a Democrat, and a lot of my party's kind of mad at me for being against this recall, but I don't like seeing one party controlling anything.
Yeah, to me, as you know, somebody has lived in Santanero, it's like F the POA, F Jerry Serrano, and F Ceci Iglesias in that order.
In that order.
You know what I mean? Like
Ceci comes last.
POA has been like just wreaking havoc on the city.
Yeah.
She's a pimp.
Can come when her term ends and she doesn't get reelected.
She's a pimp.
I don't really know how she got elected, but she did.
That's how I feel about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Vern, maybe one more question. Did you watch the debate for Ceci?
Nah. I don't live in Santa Ana. Okay. I just know a little bit. I have my distance from Santa Ana, so maybe I see things a little bit different from everyone else.
Right. Yeah, I just know, like, one of the questions during the debate for all the other candidates was, do you think the recall was worth it? How they all said yes, it was. How would you respond to that?
Recall of Ceci?
Correct. Like, worth it as far as taxpayer dollars, because it's going to cost us what, $500,000? I forget what the figure was, but it's quite large.
Well, it makes sense that the people that are hoping to take advantage of it would say it's worth it, and the lady that's getting recalled would say it's not. I think it's not. Didn't a lot of the Santa Ana had to pay for the election itself, apart from all the money the police union and the Democrats put into it, huh?
Yeah. Well, I just want to give my 2 cents on this, which is the way I look at this is that I know for a fact that Ceci will oppose the POA because she's demonstrated that she will oppose the POA. She's demonstrated she would, but I don't know anything about Thai fan. She seems really cool. She's very knowledgeable. She has professional experience in the field, but I mean, let's be honest, when it comes to politicians, they're a gigantic question mark until they get into office. So, I mean, there's a good chance she'd be great at the job, and maybe she'd represent us. But the thing is, I'd rather take this person who will be against the thing that I think is the most important than someone that I have no idea what they'll do.
Well, then you agree with me.
Yes.
But also, just it's only a few more months till the general election when Ward 1 comes up for district elections in Santa Ana, and both Nolita and Ty can go at it again then. So even if Ceci defeats the recall, we can decide between Ty and Nolita for Ward 1 in November.
Yeah, that's interesting.
About Ty.
Yeah, there's all sorts of different scenarios that could play out. I mean, did you see that she allegedly took down her and Angie Kano? Another, took down the no on the yes on the recall signs, similar to Miss Paulette Chafee in Fullerton. Not red-handed. Oh, hate when you see that.
Yeah, Ceci was taking down signs.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Yeah. She seems like a bit of an adolescent.
I don't know if it's a proven fact at this point. I think it's a contested thing, but I don't know. There's some video evidence, and you tell me who they look like. But I think that's for the audience.
I mean, if that was the only bad thing Paulette Chafee had done, I would have supported Paulette Chafee.
Yeah, that turned out really interesting. I mean, good. Jordan Brandman didn't get in. God, that was great. But people.
The only good candidate in that race was what's her name again?
Vicky
Calhoun. But she didn't have any money, and her mom died right before the election happened, and she didn't campaign that much. She was the only honest person Tim Shaw is an honest conservative and charter school lover. Honesty is a plus, but we don't agree with his positions too much.
Honesty is indeed a plus. It should be a standard, but it's definitely a luxury in politics.
But I hope that Vicky Calhoun gets in 4 years from now. It's a long time.
Hey, Vern, you are, besides a blogger and local rabble rouser, as you know, the Anaheim blog, ankle biter, we called you.
So called.
Yeah, that's terrible. Whatever with them. But no, you are also a pianist. So we would
I love
love
that.
you would love for we would love for for you to share a song with the audience before we get into Anaheim shenanigans. Is that okay?
Yeah. I was deciding what I should do first. Queen of the Boulevard, or I've got my 10 songs of the OC Homeless, and I picked 3 of them to do tonight. And yeah, I think I'll do Queen of the Boulevard. It's supposed to be a woman singing. It's inspired by a lady we knew that lived on the street right near us called Alice Armenta. And she called herself the Queen of the Boulevard. Most of what you need to know is in the lyrics. And it's sung really good by Anne-Marie Randall Trejo, but I don't have it here, so I'm going to sing it myself.
All right.
Not getting it now. Sorry. Okay, talk a little.
Hello. Mic check. Mic check.
No, it's not the mic. My old piano.
You gotta jiggle the thing. In the meantime, I think Jose can provide some a cappella. I think you prepared a poem. Is that correct, Jose?
No, that is not correct.
Oh, okay. Well, I got bad information. I don't know. Were you CC'd on that?
I didn't get the memo.
Okay.
Like, you know me, I can always go impromptu. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Wow.
You're
beautiful.
everything I wish I could be.
God, you're the voice of an angel.
I could fly higher than an eagle.
And you're a natural falsetto. Go ahead.
All right.
There is sound. Okay.
All right.
Que bueno.
All righty, Vern. Take it away.
Queen of the Boulevard. You saw me alive on State College, igniting the night. Or just over there on La Palma, preventing a fight. I'm burning my candle at voltage, just look at this lovely light. With my head in the sky, and that's probably why they call me the Queen of the Boulevard. I'm baptized as Alice, the street is my palace, which makes me the Queen of the Boulevard. I strive all my life to be free, and paradise calls out to me. St. Peter, back off, cause I'm going aloft. Make way for the Queen of the Boulevard. My reign of protection extends as far as you can see. If somebody fucks with a woman, they're fucking with me. If he's such a tough guy, then let's see him take on Her Majesty. I get everyone high, and that's probably why they call me the Queen of the Boulevard. I'm baptized as Alice, the street is my palace, which makes me the Queen of the Boulevard. I live for my boys and my girls, but I fear I'm not long for this world. St. Peter, back off, cause I'm going along. Make way for the Queen of the Boulevard. I give you the shirt off my back, that's just how I am. Don't say no, I need to give. You think I have nothing, but what does a person need? I have the moon, the sun, and the stars, the trees, the grass, and the rain, and I have the wind, the wild Santana wind. I'm the queen of the boulevard. I must be the queen of the boulevard. I live for my boys and my girls, but I fear I'm not long for this world. Saying keep back off, cause I'm going aloft. Make way for the queen of the boulevard. I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ah!
Sounds really good with Anne Marie singing it.
Huh!
That's a
Yeah,
fun song.
I seen that you've had some Facebook Live where you've shared some tunes, and I saw her performing with you and somebody else, right? You have a backup band?
Yeah, I've run into a few good singers for my 10 songs. Actually, two of my songs aren't written yet. I still have to write them. I'm going to write them during quarantine. And as soon as I finish them, quarantine will be over.
There we go.
Kelly Thomas song.
All right.
Mark the end of quarantine.
Dylan, where'd you go?
Who? Me?
Dylan, don't be a hero.
Thank you for that, Vern.
Oh yeah.
Vern, so we want to talk all things Anaheim politics, since you are very well versed in such things. Man, I'll give you the laundry list of things that I want to go through, and then we can kind of, just start wherever you'd like. I want to talk about the recall of Anaheim Mayor Sidhu. I'm going to talk about firing of Zapata, Viva Zapata. Recent corporate bailouts of $7 million, and recent votes that the Anaheim Council has taken or failed to take, like the day for Anaheim high school graduates. The rent freeze or expanded efforts on the rent situation, and also the most recent thing was that the pot shops this past council meeting. So wherever you would like to start.
Well, every 3 weeks or so, Mayor Sidhu gives us one more reason that he needs to be recalled. He's got 2 more years to go in his term, and it's just hard to think about the damage he could do in those 2 years. Just like 2 years of Donald Trump, it's that bad. And of course, few members that go along with everything, every crooked thing he does. I can give a short version of the list of reasons we're recalling him. The giveaway of the Angel Stadium, which was done in secret, and of course the Angels helped him get elected, so he gave them a really sweetheart deal. He managed to encumber the property, which is a complicated real estate thing, but it made the property worth less when it was appraised, so he was able to sell it to them for $325 million, which he could have got probably almost twice that much. And I don't know what you're saying. So we're mad about that. Plus, he could have managed to get them to change their name to Anaheim Angels. I mentioned that to a lot of people because it pisses them off. Sidhu acted like that was some kind of silly luxury. It's really worth $10 million a year in marketing to the city, especially if the Angels ever did real well and went to the World Series or something. It'd be worth a lot to us. That's one little thing. One person that contributed to Sidhu's campaign a lot, and some of the majority, is his name escapes me right now, but he's a billionaire that invests in mobile home parks, especially senior mobile home parks. And he came into town, this big senior mobile home park, half in Fullerton, half in Anaheim, mostly in Anaheim, called Rancho La Paz. And in order to, what are you gesturing about?
Interesting.
So he started jacking up rents like 70%, 50%, and a lot of the seniors just, they can't afford that, so they have to leave. They end up homeless, or they have to make the painful choice between their food, their medicine, their rent.
Right.
And so what our friend Jose and Denise wanted to do was put reasonable rent control onto mobile home parks, like we now have thanks to Sacramento on apartments. And Sidhu and his majority wouldn't even consider that. Instead, they made some stupid little senior safety net that's going to help about 100 seniors for a few months.
Is it a subsidy?
Huh?
Is it a rent subsidy?
Yeah, actually, it's taking public money that should be going to low-income housing and subsidizing the greedy landlord.
Right. So they could continue hiking rents if they want.
While acting like they're being really nice to seniors.
Right, and then it'll be on the taxpayer bill.
Yeah, and it won't be most seniors, and it's going to be taxpayers subsidizing greed, like always. That's what they're about.
Right.
What else is there? Lots of things. You mentioned the firing of Zapata.
Yeah.
And you guys can jump in too. I don't want to just be a monologue. I'm not as eloquent as Jose Moreno, but
few are.
When coronavirus came around, did you ever read The Shock Doctrine by Naomi Klein?
I have not.
It's a good book and it's long, but the basic idea is that the elites, when there's something they want to do, they wait for there to be some kind of crisis, and then they use that as an excuse to shove it through, even if it doesn't really seem to have anything to do with it. Like, remember back when we got attacked on 9/11, and they used that as an excuse to pass the Patriot Act and invade Iraq, which had nothing to do with the attack. Well, it reminds me of that. I see that a lot of times. And the Anaheim Council under Sidhu took advantage of the coronavirus to give $6.5 million to the resort district's advertising arm, which is called Visit Anaheim. And they kind of covered that up by, they gave about the same amount to good causes. But that's a big amount of money from out of our reserves, and our reserves are getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, so can you tell me a little bit about that advertising company? Is that a private advertising firm that promotes
I shouldn't say
Anaheim?
Company. It's kind of like something in between. It's a bureau. It's not publicly accountable. Up until now, it's been paid for by hotel taxes and Disney. And they pretty much work for them. Like, the guy that runs it is called Jay Burris. We found out just recently he gets paid almost $500,000 a year. And the most memorable time I saw him, he showed up at a rally to speak against Measure L, giving living wage to resort workers. And so I thought that was a weird thing for the advertising executive to be doing, getting in front of cameras and talking about how Disneyland couldn't afford to pay $15 an hour. And so now he's a kind of a public employee, now that he's got $6.5 million from the reserves. And this led to the Zapata firing. I mean, they never said why they fired Zapata, but during this discussion on the $6.5 million, Jose asked Zapata, and he knew what Zapata would say because he always speaks his mind. He's obedient. He does what he's told to do because the council is his boss. But when he's asked his opinion, he gives his opinion. And he asked, "Stop doing that, Donna." He asked Chris Zapata, the city manager, if he thought this $6.5 million was a good idea. And Chris said, "I don't really think it should be that much, and I think it should be a lot less, and it should be tied to specific benchmarks that I can keep track of."
Right.
And next thing we knew, a couple weeks later, Zapata was being fired because Harry was saying, "We want to go in a different direction." So that's the reason he got fired.
It sounds similar to the situation with Dr. Fauci and Trump, right? Where he doesn't want to say no, you Trump, you're dead wrong, or be disagreeable. But if he's asked his medical opinion, he's going to give it. And in this case, that's what Zapata was doing. But in the very Trump-esque reign that happened, Mayor Sidhu's time on the council, it definitely falls in line that anybody that crosses that line is very much ripe for replacement. So that's it's just remarkable that the amount of money that this man is going to get paid out. I mean, it's not quite as bad as it was in here in Santa Ana when we had 2, 3 city managers in a short time, and in order to make him go away quietly. They paid him $475,000, and then he had a pretty good
assistant city manager. Now that guy's doing the work of two people. He's doing the work of both guys. So they gave him a raise, which is fair enough. But it turns out that that adds up to $500,000 we spent to get rid of Chris Zapata. And I think that should be added on to $6.5 million that we gave to Visit Anaheim. So that's how I came up with the $7 million that we wasted just on subsidizing these people. They should be paid by, I mean, it's absurd in so many ways. We need that $6.5 million for important things. Disney could afford to pay it themselves. And it's unnecessary right now because the resort district won't be able to open until much later in the year. It's going to be months before people want to go to Disneyland or stay in a hotel. You know?
Right. Maybe there's a detail I missed, but what did he resign? Was he forced out, or was there a decision made by the council to fire?
Well, you know how that is. They talked him into resigning quietly and gave him a whole bunch of money. Year and a half worth of salary.
Yeah, I understand.
That's called getting fired.
Yeah,
totally. But yeah, Dr. Jose Moreno has absolutely, as councilman, has been trying to fight for transparency and against, these cronies and exposing them in the ways in which they are doing a lot of these backdoor type of deals and these pay to play situations. So I don't know. It's for people that are paying attention, and I say this, at times online, like if you're not absolutely outraged in Anaheim at the way that your council is being run, then you're not paying attention, because even just one council meeting would be enough to make you see what these cronies are doing. And
yeah, Jose's a trip. They try to paint him as really left wing, whatever that means. But what I noticed observing him is that he's most concerned about two things: transparency and democracy. He's always trying to get everybody involved and getting as many voices heard as possible.
Yeah, and in that,
what's left wing about that?
Right. And I mean, if he was that left wing, would a Republican really be joining him? As Councilwoman Denise Barnes has done on countless occasions? No, she has a heart.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Mayor Tate and how he would vote, on different things. Not all the time was he like voting on the things that Jose proposed, but he was open to, and he just came from the heart when it came to voting for the most part. So God, we missed that guy. And man, those 400 votes that Ashley lost by is, just really hurts that much more. Like, every council meeting, which makes, just kind of reiterates the point. Elections matter. Tomorrow's election in Santa Ana is going to matter. And the upcoming elections in November are going to matter a lot, right? In Anaheim, especially because there's going to be a few seats up. I saw that Avelino is officially announced today that he's going to be running. So that's
yeah.
So that's going to be.
I don't know about that guy. He works for Tom Daley, and Tom Daley's always doing terrible things, voting like a Republican. And then Avelino will say, "Don't blame me. That was Tom. I didn't tell him to do that." But I've been real involved. I've been at every Anaheim council meeting for 6 years or so, more, and I've never seen him speak out on anything. There's been lots of burning issues. Avelino, I haven't seen him. Janine, I'm in the same district. Janine Robbins is running.
I don't believe. Right.
But Janine's been there every time, and she's brilliant.
Recently, an issue that he was not supportive of was the abolish ICE situation. He was not in support of that. So I mean,
Avelino?
Yeah, and in the Central Committee. And so like everybody's going to have to prove their progressive stripes if they care to claim such. But when it comes down to endorsements, if you're endorsed by Lou Correa, Tom Daley, and or Loretta Sanchez, that you're suspect to me.
Yeah, he also got endorsed by some good people who didn't know any better.
Yeah,
I got to have a word with Josh Newman.
Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
I like Josh, but he endorsed Jordan last few months ago, and now he's endorsed Avelino. I don't think he understands what's going on in Anaheim. Whether he just kept out of it. He's been endorsed people.
Yeah. Similarly to.
Yeah, I love Josh.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way. I guess similarly to the way I feel about my friends thinking that the COVID-19 is a government conspiracy. I'm equally tolerant about people when they, or not equally, but at times support, like not as harsh with people that endorse really whack candidates, because, I guess we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
The case of Brandman, geez.
Oh, I didn't get around to filling you in on the Sadu recall. That got
Yeah.
We missed a deadline. My friend who was leading this thing was a day late turning in something. So we're going to start again. And then COVID happened. And as long as we can't be knocking on people's doors, we're keeping our powder dry, because once we get the process started, then the clock is ticking, and we need to get 20,000 signatures. So we're not going to be able to recall to do it in the November general election. We're going to be aiming for early 2021.
Yeah, it's interesting. Does COVID kill voter initiatives? Can you even do that electronically?
I think it helped kill the Westminster recall. I was real sympathetic to the Westminster recall, and 10,000 people signed it. They wanted to get rid of those 3 crooked little Saigon politicians, and then only 7,000 voted to do it. One thing, there was a lot of confusion. The registrar told them they could vote in person, and then they changed the rules midway when there were just a few weeks left and said, you've got to mail in your ballot, and a lot of them didn't have mail-in ballots. But somehow the incumbents knew how to take advantage of the situation. So it's still there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's as far as like, just because you mentioned recall, I think this is so tough. You normally would say recalls fail, and especially the special elections, there tend to be Republican or conservative leaning. But in this case, maybe enough Republicans are upset at SESI in order, because of the 25 development project. So we'll see. I'm really kind of like, I wouldn't place a wager on it. I'm not sure either way.
Where do Republicans stand on the 25-25? Sometimes it's hard to pigeonhole people by their party or their left or right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, NIMBY has no party.
Either party that's against it.
Yeah. I think everybody pretty much is, on the left and the right, far left, far right, is against development. Some for gentrification reasons, other because they just don't want their perfect,
quality of life
and nostalgic, remembrance of what their neighborhood looks like to get erased. So
yeah, and that's something we can share with them.
Yeah. I mean, I drive around Anaheim, man, and I have never seen it developed as much as it has been in a couple of years. It's insane. Bunch of new houses, by the big time developers, and so I'm just like, I wonder what had to be done in order for that to get done, type of thing.
Man. Yeah. Dirty deals.
So, Vern, what do you think about the marijuana, the dispensaries that have been proposed? I mean, this is an interesting subject.
I'm agnostic. Anaheim's always been had a stick up its butt about that. We've been run by people that don't like, I think they don't like hippies or whatever, that kind of closed-minded to marijuana. And one of these years, we're going to have to join the 21st century and have legal, regulated tax-paying dispensaries like other towns do. But I'm not in a rush to do it this year because I don't trust anything that's going to be run by Sadu and his majority. You saw how Sadu's son is knee-deep in that. Wayne Roberts wrote about that.
Yeah, he had to recuse himself.
Jordan has been for a long time too, I hear. As they call themselves consultants to the business.
There's big money. There's big green money ready to flood, local races. Happen in Santa Ana. It can happen in Anaheim. Yeah.
I was glad that they discussed it at the last meeting. I was glad they put it off because it's a lot for people to think about. It's complicated.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that needs to be watched. I mean, you'll remember what happened in Santa Ana, like the lottery system they developed benefited people that could set up shell corporations. So there's all these loopholes. Like someone with enough money can find a loophole to get a million, way more entries than anyone else into such a system. So when they implement that, I mean, that's going to take some vigilance from the community.
Yeah. So what in the last vote that took place, I believe there was a vote for a continuance of the issue, right?
Yeah, they're going to talk about it some more.
So
and the next meeting is almost a month from now, so there's plenty of time for people to get educated about it if they want to.
Yeah, that was a very interesting like vote because I mean Lucille Kring was the champion, and I was agreeing with things that she said. I was very disturbed by how that whole process. Trevor O'Neill, kind of stood by his conservative leanings and was like, "No pot, it's bad." It's a gateway drug. And then
Trevor said that.
no, I don't know if he just said that, but I'm just saying like he was against it, and because he
Okay, yeah, Denise Barnes is against it too. It's hard to predict who's going to. I mean, I think Lucille and Jordan are following some kind of orders. I have to admit, I didn't watch that part of the meeting. I wonder how Stephen Fessel voted. That's my count.
So I was going through it. Let me just go through it. So Trevor O'Neill, he was against it. Denise Barnes was also against it. One reason was that she said that a lot of the dispensaries would probably get built in her area, and it would just be hurtful to children and so on. Fassel, he Jordan Brandman, of course, was supportive. There's a lot of just like herb weed money that's backing him, or was in supervisor race recently and whatnot. But so then the tiebreaker of sorts was Fassel. He was going to vote against it, although he did vote to continue this subject. He's
so he was leaning against, huh?
He was going to vote against it had it not been continued, is what I recall.
Because here in District 5 where I live, which is Fessel's district, a lot of the anti-pot people love him because he's managed to close down a couple of illegal pot shops. Popped up somewhere else, of course.
Yeah, Dr. Reno brought up a point about like the lick. Is there any distance? Like they're proposing 1,000 feet between the dispensaries and schools and other type of sensitive spots where children are at. But is there one for liquor stores was the question, and apparently there isn't. So I just this whole reefer madness type of thing about like, oh, if you build it, that it will bring crime. It's like any more than like liquor stores, like or any, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Like you said, Anaheim needs to get to the 21st century, and like what is Disneyland without like weed? Drugs, like
when you see the story that I wrote a story I finished it about an hour before the show started, and it was from reading. The last time I'm going to do this, it's from reading all the letters, all the emails that got sent into the council for the last meeting.
Oh yeah,
there were like 250 emails that were against having dispensaries, and there were about 120 that were for. And it was funny. A lot of the pro and a lot of the cons talk about this is supposed to be the happiest place on earth. We can't bring drugs into that. This is supposed to be the happiest place on earth. We need marijuana.
Yeah. The hippies have been like tripping on acid at Disneyland and all around Anaheim for decades. No, but then like as somebody mentioned, you can get it delivered to you. So but then meanwhile, wherever like Santa Ana gets all the taxpayer money, but the city could use that. I mean, granted, it has to be really intentional about where that money goes to education, rehabilitation centers, et cetera. But it's just really funny how the vote kind of like, it played itself out. Whereas most of the time, the council majority is in lockstep with Mayor Sidhu, but in this case, many of them were not.
Well, Sidhu had to recuse himself, right?
Correct, but
partly because of Wayne's work. But people also forget that the council's not making this happen. It's going to go on the ballot. It's going to be up to everybody. So,
correct.
I think of it that way. It might as well go on the ballot.
Yeah, let the voters decide. Democracy.
I have a feeling it'll lose, but I don't know. I don't really care too much. I'd rather it happen when we had a better government.
True.
Yeah. Well, that polemic conversation will continue. So what are you thinking about the races coming up in November for the different seats up? I mean, Denise Barnes is up. Perhaps there could be a Democrat that could try to replace her. That could be, troublesome if that.
I'm not sure what party Denise is. I think I heard she left the Republican Party. I'm not sure if she's independent. She could be independent or Democrat or Republican at this point. I don't know. Okay. A lot of, Trump has caused a lot of the Republicans with better hearts to leave the party.
Right.
Cynthia Ward left the Republican Party because of Trump. because of all her party mates' loyalty to Trump.
Yeah, yeah.
So I hope Denise gets reelected. She really has been doing a good job. And it's funny, when I was reading these letters today, a lot of them came from these West Anaheim NIMBY types, social conservatives, who are really mad at Lucille Crane. They always loved Lucille and Jordan, and they feel betrayed that they're embracing dispensaries. And it's actually Denise Barnes who is their voice right now. She's the councilwoman from West Anaheim, and she's staunchly against it. So I hope they notice that and remember that.
You know, that's going to, again, like this situation, this vote in this issue kind of, it's people come at it from different places as opposed to perhaps other issues, because it's a new issue that cities are having to tackle. But it's like, where will they be? Who benefits from it? And is that the kind of city that we want to have? Those are all going to be questions for the voters. But yeah, I mean, Democrats and Republicans are against it. There's people that are religious that don't want to have that, even as they are Democrats, right? So anyways,
yeah. I'm just thinking though, really think about how powerful a Disney brand sativa would be. Like, can you imagine?
Let's get this all in mind.
Let's go play. Yeah. I mean, this could be some powerful branding material. Goofy, come on. Goofy's high as fuck normally anyway.
If you're stoned enough, you can figure out why Pluto doesn't talk, but Goofy does. Aren't they both dogs?
Yeah, I need to ingest a lot of marijuana to start understanding that one. Yeah, yeah, it's a riddle.
Yeah, I mean,
an enigma wrapped in
a mystery.
Yeah,
veiled in an egg.
Yeah. So
okay.
So Vern, you gosh, like what are one of the things that you're also very connected with is the homeless advocacy or rights for the homeless. So like we mentioned last time, you did the longest night. You've been a part of that of homeless persons with other folks and that. So like, how are homeless people in Anaheim dealing with the COVID-19 crisis and the people that are advocating and helping them or had been?
Well, we have more shelters than we used to, thanks to Judge Carter and plaintiffs like the People's Homeless Task Force. And then the shelters started to become hotbeds, inevitably, of the virus. And so they started, I don't know, I'm not as involved in that as a lot of my friends are, but I hear they're trying to make, in the Anaheim shelters, get some people out so there can be social distancing, and meanwhile putting half the people into hotels. And a friend of mine is in charge of trying to get Stanton's homeless people into Stanton hotels, and she's really mad that all the Anaheim homeless people are ending up in Stanton hotels. So I know that a little bit. Okay. You still see people out on the street when you go out?
Yeah. No, luckily I haven't heard of like a crazy amount of breakouts from shelters. I mean, there has been some, but I guess it could be worse. But also, they could also be, contagious, like, have contracted it and not be tested.
Yeah, a lot of people are asymptomatic.
Right. Very much under-tested here.
I could be asymptomatic.
Hey.
So, we could continue to talk, but I just, I want to hear, a couple more of your song before we say farewell. But
you were segueing because my songs are about homeless people.
Hey. Go.
I was thinking of doing 2 more of my songs for the OC homeless.
All right.
First Marine and Dog, and then first Marine and Dog.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
That's the wrong sound. Oh, that happened from me pushing this. Okay. Okay, talk a little more. Gotta get back to where I was.
So
I leaned my elbow on the wrong thing.
I think what's on your mind, Jose? What's going on? What are you doing?
Oh, you can't tell by the way I use my wall. I'm a woman's man. Don't think around. We can
Okay, I got it. Marine and dog. You pass up my tent each morning on your way to work. That grizzled Marine in khakis with his trusty dog. I need a whole lot of weed cause I'm so PTSD. Seriously, there's things I don't want to talk about, and you don't need to hear them. Just stand before my service and then go take a hike. I'm busy today. Right, but we can get you in a shelter. Right, but we can get you in a shelter. But that dog, well, I stand with my fellow vets against their policies on pets. I can't stand the Disney fireworks each night at 10. If you like explosions, go get your jollies overseas. From Kandahar to Garden Grove, we're looking for some peace. And Fido hates them too. Try, but we can get you in a shelter. Try, but we can get you in a shelter. Well, sure, it's getting cold, but I'm living by a code. Semper Fi, Fi, Fi. Semper Fi, 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 Fi. Fido, Fido, my only faithful friend. Did I ever tell you about that one time Fido saved my life? Some crazy asshole that I barely knew came at me with a knife when I wasn't looking. Raised it up high and Fido came looking. Fido, Fido, he jumped to my defense. He knocked the guy down and he stuck in his teeth and he wanted to let go. The fellow was screaming. Stood on his leg until it was bleeding. Went to the ER and we never saw him again. Semper Fido, my only faithful friend.
Woo!
Ow!
People always think it's over there. It's not. We haven't had the PTSD dream yet. I sweat, my ears ringing. I'm over there again. Was that enemy fire or just another wedding? Now the silence deepens. Now the silence holds me so I can't move. And I see them. I see those eyes. The dead girl's open eyes. And there's nothing I can do as it all goes to hell. Fido, Fido, you got my face all wet. You must have been worried, I guess I was shaking. It's all right now, Daddy was dreaming. Let's smoke a bowl and go back to sleeping. Fido, Fido, we left some stories out. Tomorrow we'll tell how some psycho was setting our tents on fire. The neighbors were napping. You woke them up and kept them from burning. You saved their bacon, but that's enough singing till then. Semper Fido, my only faithful friend. Going to no fucking shelter with a Fido at my side.
Yeah.
Green and dark.
Oh!
Pew pew pew. All right, you want to end the show with our last with the last one here, good sir?
If we have time for one pink slip away. This is supposed to be sung by a woman, but it's okay with me singing. But toward the end, there's a whole bunch of people singing. It's one of those Broadway type things with the finale at the end. So I'm gonna have to kind of fake that. It really, yeah. I was really supporting Bernie Sanders while I was writing this song, and it turns into a kind of Feel the Burn song halfway through. It doesn't mention him, but it mentions a lot of his issues. I see you. I see how you look at me. And let me tell you something. You're one pink slip away from being like me. One paycheck away from living like me. You know I mean no harm to you, but then sometimes I do. Because one paycheck away, one paycheck ago, I was living like you. You heard me right. One pink slip ago, I was living like you. You just might underestimate. You just might overestimate your value to your boss. You just might underestimate the savings when you get tossed. And if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you just might end up do as me. And if you're nice, I'll show you the ropes. And I hope I'm your only hope, because you're just one pink slip away. You're one paycheck away. Better believe I'm sometimes I do. Because one pink slip away, I was living like you. One pink slip ago, I was living like you. There's a class war going on, and you didn't start it, and I didn't start it, but you don't have to be their pawn. Just helping them keep you down. I bet you voted against rent control. I bet you swallowed their bullshit whole. What's the use of you voting at all when you let them tell you what to think? There's a class war going on, and you're seeing the collateral damage here, with decades of wage freeze and rising rents pushing us onto the street. Please excuse us expendables for being so damn visible. But one thing that you won't see us do is vanish into thin air. Vanish into thin air. They can drive along the Spyglass Hill and then come see us wherever we're gone. One paycheck away, better believe that we mean no harm to you, except sometimes we do, because one paycheck away you were living like us. You heard us right, one paycheck ago you were living like you. That's all.
Ooh.
I messed up a lot of those words.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Ow!
Anne-Marie sings it really good. And I need more people coming up. But thanks for your kind endorsement.
Oh, of course. And maybe, Jose, maybe you could do backup singing for next time. do some coordination there.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you? Get on video right.
Oh, oops. Yeah. Sorry.
Jeez. Yeah.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here.
Thank you so much for that, Vern. It's yeah, it's like I mentioned before, I'll never forget. I think one of like the first times I met you was during Occupy when you sang that song, "Corporations Are People Too," and thanks to Citizens United, we're all.
Yeah.
Too, my friend, you know that we're people too.
That's
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
It came right after Mitt Romney said that during the presidential run. Remember?
Yeah.
Putting down corporations, he goes, "Corporations are people too, my friend."
That's right.
Now, I mean, we've got so bad in these last 8 years, and now Mitt Romney's a hero.
Huh.
The Republican who can stand up to Trump.
Seriously, it's the topsy-turvy world for sure.
Yes.
And but you know, to try to make sense of it, you know, here for all the audience members, you can definitely tune in or you know, catch Vern's hot takes along with Greg Diamond and all the other folks that are contributors for the Orange Juice blog. So they can see more of that on orangejuiceblog.com. Do we are you having any live musical performances coming up soon, Vern?
I should.
Like Zoom live.
I was thinking I hadn't done it in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Me and Donna were thinking that I should do it again real soon, and then you called me. So
hey, there we go.
well,
Serendipity.
But I should do another one. I should do some classical. People like that. Helps you calm down during the time of COVID.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
That's a good lullaby for our audience. Thank you.
I have to have like.
Yeah, I was gonna cry there for a second.
All right. Well, thank you so much once again, Vern.
Yeah, Vern. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello.
Thanks for having me.
Donna and
I got more songs for the next time.
yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there'll be more outrages to discuss. I wish there weren't, but I'm sure there will be.
Hey, that's life.
I know. Life is life. Nah, nah. All right. That's enough. Thank you.
Oh yeah. You guys got to do a live set on something. I'm sure you could freestyle into that.
All right. Thanks once again. Thank you so much, Vern, Patrick Nelson. Stay healthy, stay sane, as I tell everybody. Stay, you know, and hopefully we'll be catching each other soon. Yeah, keeping it real, keeping it real.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Dylan and Joesse and whoever's watching. See you later.
Peace out.
Bye, bud. Yeah. So
Good times.
good times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Vern is, you know, just full of all sorts of knowledge and very interesting satirical piano covers and stuff. I you know, I saw the one that she did with the one that he did with Anne Marie, and it's a whole thing with the whole band is together. But it was you know, to hear these things and talking about real important issues too. And but I just, you know, as we know here on the show, the importance of satire is just absolutely crucial. You gotta laugh a little, gotta poke fun, you know, gotta, you know, to all the people that hate humanity.
It helps.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So how you doing, Dylan?
Pretty good. You know, it was good to see Vern play. He's an expert pianist, so a delight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any special talents musical wise?
Yeah. Well, you know, I play a mean triangle. Mine's getting repaired. It's getting tuned right now. And yeah, I know you're making some like kind of joke about it right now. No, but maybe I'll show it off in a future episode. I mean, it's something to tease the audience for.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So tune in for that next week.
A little harmonic action.
Yeah, I do a mean wood block solo. So just get me a stick and
yeah. All you need is a cowbell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, screw out your beer a little bit, have a little more scruff. And with that shirt, and then just kind of let your belly out a little bit, and then get your your gyrations going, and like you got the cowbell bit.
I'm glad you put so much thought into this for me.
The only thing that's gonna cure that fever is more of that cowbell.
Classic.
Well,
I guess just say I need to go outside.
Yeah.
Our wise friend Don Ben has said that I'm allowed to go outside.
Yeah, he's like, you pasty mother sucker.
Yeah, that did hit close to home. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, whenever I go outside, it's kind of like, I just figure when I see people, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. I mean, it's just like Zoom, but everything's so tactile, except like other participants are near you. It's cool. So it's very tangible out there.
Yeah, I gotta say, I do love having to like not, you can have having to have the thing on, because like you don't gotta smile at people. Like I don't know, like it could turn into like this being like risque, like, right, like,
yeah,
this is how you meet people. And
what are you doing behind there?
If you like them, then that's cool.
Yeah.
And then first base is like, hey Dylan.
Ooh. Oh shit. Damn, Jose, that's a fuzzy mustache. Yeah, this could impact our culture for decades. So I mean, yeah, there's a new first base, guys.
Yeah.
The whole game changed.
Everybody could just learn sign language too, and just be like, just like,
yeah. The thing is, Jose, I always have a shit-eating grin on while I'm wearing those, and I look at people and be like, just a shit-eating grin on while I'm wearing those masks. Just by the way. I don't know if that helps. Like, put the mask on yourself, okay? Now do a shit-eating grin at me. See? Okay, I can tell from your eyes. Okay, come on. Okay, you gave it away, but you kind of have a poker face for that kind of stuff.
Maybe what we got to do is, like, when we are smiling, you just lift up like one, like eyebrow, like, hey, hi. And then if you like,
yeah.
And then if it's two, it's like, what's up? It's like,
I can't do the other side. Oh, I can only here. There.
I have to work really hard and exercise my muscle.
I need to train. Apparently,
you do. You have to. It's not easy. It's not easy being cheesy.
Masters right here.
Woo!
Yeah.
Well, on that cheesy note,
that's a great note to end on.
Tune in next week for more cheese.
Adjournment.
We got your local dose of that stanky.
Stanky Limburger.
Stanky cheese.
Play some stanky triangle next time. Some funk triangle.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
No, I'm really to see what happens tomorrow at the special elections. Who knows? We might not have a decision by the end of the day, but hopefully we do.
Not likely.
And people will be happy, people will be sad, and people will mostly not give a damn.
Yeah, I mean, I've mixed feelings about any likely result. So I hope for the best.
Yes, indeed. May the best special interest win.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
You're cynical. I'm telling you, we got to get man. It's just like, this is making me really like lose hope in people.
Yeah. You got to smoke some of that Mickey weed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Dude, I want to give you some.
All right.
Dude, that Disney Anna crowd is big too, so they'd get over their whole pot thing right away once it became chic, Disney chic. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Minnie, come take a rip.
Stop fucking up the roto. Okay, I do not partake, imbibe, ingest, or otherwise
to actual characters that are real live people is merely coincidental.
Yeah, the large amount of knowledge I have on pot culture nomenclature is completely coincidental. So that's my disclaimer. So
Hey, Goofy, pop my pass. Gosh.
good, stop Bogarting. Okay, we need to end the show now.
Yeah, all right.
Before this impacts my career potential. Okay, at least in Anaheim.
Yeah, speaking of PPP, we got to go.
Oh, yeah. Ha! Okay. It's been a good show.
It has been. Thank you so much once again, Vern. Thank you everyone for tuning in for the first time. Please like us, follow us, share us, comment. Yeah, we're going to have all sorts of awesome guests coming up soon. Including a potential Bernie show. I have some former staff members come on and talk about the future of the progressive movement and how campaigns can and should be run in order to ensure that candidates that are the most progressive have the best chance of taking power locally. As Bernie always said, this movement is grassroots and it starts from the bottom up. Hashtag not me, us. So
true that.
An ode to the brother that will always be in our hearts, and the movement that will never die. Never. And from all of us here on It's Happening that are awesome and liking and following and sharing our content and staying tuned every week, we definitely thank you. So I want to thank audio. Yeah, right?
Big time.
Bigly. Yeah.
Don't do that.
I got a little thing with Hamilton's name on it for all you.
Oh, don't.
It's just like I promised.
There we go.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Hey. So once again, thanks audio video engineer Edgar Silva. Thank Iron Lion Media, Iron Lion Studios. You can check out past shows on archive.org. Search It's Happening Show. And you can also check it out on our Facebook page. Check out all the past shows that we've had. Yeah, you got time, so check out our show. We got some great goodies.
Yeah, go listen to some old news analysis, and listen to my bad political predictions.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. Watch some Sopranos.
I so am. That's why I wanted to get off now because I need to go back and find out what happens to Tony. Hey, Tony, I thought you was my brother.
It's good.
You can cook me up a little ziti, man. What's the matter? What do I gotta do?
Ziti. They eat a lot of ziti in that show.
They so do.
Oh man, ziti's good, man.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot of Italian words. To eat.
I bet it helps know Spanish a bit. Some of the romantic languages, right?
Maron. That's the word. Maron.
People yell that at me, so I'm glad it means something. In Italian.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you once again. Thank you, Dylan, for being your usual beardly.
Acting beardly as usual.
Per usual, my long-haired dude.
Per usual.
Bearded comrade.
Ooh, yeah, and the new Jose with his brand new hairstyle.
I know, it's not tangly. I brushed it. It's so cool.
Glad you're enjoying that.
I am. All right. So without further ado, from Edgar, Dylan Thompson, and Jose Gloria, and all of us in It's Happening family, we are saying
It's Happening! Whoa. I think that counted.
Hey, let's high five. Ready?
Víctimas de un sistema perdido, levantémonos contra el imperialismo, alza los puños para lograr el socialismo.
This town again.